Hello everyone, welcome to your Fit Friday. I'm Abby and this is Cassidy. We are chiropractors here at CHIRO for Moms. We are doing core today, so roughly about 10 minutes of core here. I'm gonna be doing the full overhead everything. Cassidy here is gonna be taking some modifications to make it a little bit easier on your body depending on what you got working with. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna be coming to a high plank on my toes. My shoulders are stacked over my wrist and we're gonna be moving into shoulder taps. So squeeze that booty and tap right shoulder, then left shoulder. Simply tapping it out here. Really think about that belly button to spine, soft bend in the knees, squeezing the transverse abdominis, that all the way around muscle. Finding your breath here. The wider your feet, the more stable you'll be. You'll avoid this rocking motion, right? We want to try and keep ourselves as stiff and stable as we can. Great thing about these Fit Fridays is it's something that you can do between patients, in the 10 minutes before you have to get that note done, the 10 minutes after before you head home, something to get your body moving, taking care of yourself before taking care of others, as we do all day, day in, day out. You only got about 15 more seconds here. We're gonna be moving into knee taps. So you're gonna stay up high or down low, whatever variation you're gonna be taking, and we're just gonna drop through our knees, really focusing on the low core. In 3, 2, 1, keeping shoulders exactly where they are. We're gonna drop the knees down and lift. It's a lower and lift. I like dropping between both knees. Now, if you want, you could drop one knee and then the other, a little bit of a rocking motion. Keeping shoulders stacked over your wrists, soft bend in the elbows. How you doing, Cassidy?
Great, doing good over here. Taking it from my elbows.
That mind-body connection. Think about that low core, the bottom of our abdominal muscles, squeezing themselves tight to lower the knees and then resisting it on the way back up. We'll have a quick rest when we transition into our final plank series. Keep breathing here. You've got 3, you've got 2, and 1. As we transition here, knees are gonna come forward. Shoulders are gonna stay exactly where they are. We're gonna come to a bear hold. So you're gonna lift through your knees. Now, we're gonna lift the right arm, and then you're gonna draw it back to your left toe. So I'm going to a down dog and reach forward and drop it down. Go ahead and join with me, Cassidy. No chickening out now. Reach that right arm.
I was just gonna say, I am not gonna do the arms. I'm gonna simply go from a bear hold to a down dog.
Still using that low core, right?
Absolutely, I'm squeezing everything together, but taking out a little bit of the complexity, a little bit of the strain, the muscles required. So a little bit of a lighter version.
And as you can see, like my hip's gonna wanna open up here. So that's where using your core and your glutes to keep hips square is going to help keep yourself stable, really turning on what we need to turn on. You've got 3, switching sides in 2, and 1. You're just gonna place that arm down, extend the opposite arm, and here. If you are taking the no arm, you're simply just gonna keep going, right? This is it for planks, we promise, yeah?
And you're gonna get a nice little break after this.
How lucky.
We're not all cruel. We're kind of nice.
And core is such an important part. I like to say like a strong core is a strong back. And when we're adjusting day in and day out, that is the beginning of everything we do is our core. So I think it's a great way to start warming up. You've got 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Yeah, that would serve me for the day, I think. That would.
Oh, yes. And then get you nice and warm.
Right.
I'm going to roll on my wrist quick as we transition to our backs. Belly up.
Yeah, we are. Rolling all the way down. We're going to keep this just nice and simple. So hands behind your head, finding a basic crunch. All you're going to do is lift your nose and chin up towards your ceiling and come back down. It's a lift and lower. So think about pushing belly button into the mat to lift yourself up. It's that counter pressure, that counterbalance. Keeping belly button pulled up and in, but pressing yourself down to lift yourself back up. Head can just rest nice and heavy in your hands.
Make sure we are not dipping our neck into flexion, keeping our chin nice and tucked. It's going to help your anterior neck from fatiguing. Of course, as chiropractors, we don't need that.
You know, I might need some muscle work on mine. A little bit later, I can like feel that I'm digging into them just a little bit.
You can feel that tension.
Yeah. We're gonna have a small transition here. All you're gonna do is move into a pulse. Even tinier movements than what we're doing, really focusing on time and attention. You've got 3. You're gonna pulse up in 2 and 1. Now you're just gonna pulse up towards the ceiling. Lift and lower. Cassie's taking a great option. Extend your arms out long. Just make sure you're not dipping into your neck here, right? Really think about lifting and squeezing. Let your head rest heavy. Let your core do all the work. Tiny lift, tiny lower.
I like to think of my rib cage and my pelvis bones meeting, crunching together. And this is our burner here. Gotta give us a break too.
I know, I'm like, all right, remember to belly breathe, but I also feel like I'm like pulling everything in, that I'm like, breathe.
This talking working out thing, it's rough, you guys.
It is. You're not here for much longer. All we're gonna move into is cherry picker. So legs are just gonna go up and you're gonna keep lifting and lowering. So move into your cherry pickers in 3. Send those legs up in 2. And 1. Legs are gonna go up towards the ceiling. Opposite arm, opposite leg. So reach right, reach left.
A bent knee option is great if you have tight hip flexors or tight hips in general. You can still get that alternating, or you can simply be centered and just crunch to the middle.
And so you guys can see that we're on mats. I like to challenge people, especially ourselves. The wider your legs are, so I like to put mine about mat width distance apart, the harder it's going to become, the more you're gonna have to work for it to reach yourself across. Not only are you turning on your oblique muscles, right, the internus and externus, you're working on the transverse to stabilize yourself and a little bit of rectus to lift yourself up. So it's really that all-encompassing that's already had to work so hard. And you are gonna rest after this. Just lift and lower. You've got 3, 2, 1. Roll it back down. Take a moment, rest it out here. Oh yeah.
So you have a nice little rest here.
Need like a little bit of like extension.
Right. Final progression. I'm just stretching my whole body, whole leg right now. It feels great after all of those crunching mobilities, but now we gotta go into the obliques.
I feel like this is like one of the most underrated core muscles. Like transverse definitely, but the oblique muscles, both in and out, are ones that I feel like everybody needs that strength part.
So the obliques are one of the outer layers, so not quite as deep as that transverse, but it's going to help your transverse get strong.
It sure is.
Stabilize everything you need it to, your core, your pelvic floor.
So we're gonna roll back down onto our backs. And we're gonna put what we did previously a little bit together. So we're gonna lift ourselves up and then we're gonna reach towards our heels. So squeezing our right side obliques, then you'll lift back up and then it'll reach to the left. Here we go, lift it up, reach right, lift up, reach left. So really think about reaching towards your heels. If this is too much on the neck, if you feel it, just take the hands out and think about reaching your elbow towards your heel. Now, if you can reach your heel with your elbow, I'm impressed.
I'm simply just taking a rest every time I hit the center. Still getting all of that work, but it's a nice little reset. So you're not holding that burn quite as long.
You've got 4, 3, 2, 1, rolling all the way back down. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, right. We knew that was going to be a doozy. I'm going to take a little mini cobra here. Woo. What's next, Abby?
We're just going to stay on our backs. We're going to do windshield wipers, and then we'll go into our final. I like to say V-sits for last because it's just that, like, you just don't want to do anything after it, honestly. So we're going to do windshield wipers first before we have V-sits, and then we're going to make our way onto our day because this is our workout. I'm done after this. So bring those knees up. Knees are stacked over your hips. Hands can be down by your side, out, wherever it is. Now the key is to take this nice and slow. We're going to drop our knees over to the left side. So we're going to drop it down nice and slow, resist the ground, and then squeeze the right side to lift yourself back up. Now just go to the right side and send it down and over, and then lift that left side, lift it up and over. So the slower you go, the harder this is going to become because obviously we all know about gravity, and that's going to pull your legs down. So what you want to do is resist gravity on the way down and then use your muscles on the way up. Pull on those eccentric contractions and the concentric, but we really want to focus on the eccentric contractions going all the way through this. It's not going to feel like a ton right now, but I promise you, if you think about each muscle that you're turning on, you'll feel something.
I'm exhaling when I bring my knees to the center.
And I keep pushing, like when I come to this center point, I'm pushing my belly button towards the mat to continue that crunching motion. So it's not my time to rest necessarily. It's just my mode of transitioning between both sides. So I want to keep everything engaged and tight as I go through the right and the left side. You're almost in here. Then we're going to go to those V-sits, the ever so dreaded V-sits. You've got 3, you've got 2, and 1. Rock and roll all the way up. Let's finish this out strong. So we're going to be laying on our left side. We're going to be engaging the right side obliques. Now I'm sitting all the way on my glute on my left side. That's going to help me from rocking back and forth. Legs can be out long. Legs can also be bent, hand overhead. We're just going to lift and reach towards our toes and lower, lift and lower. So once again, we're squeezing the right side to lift, really resisting on the way down. Lift up and lower. So kind of play around. Like I find sometimes if I'm opened up a little bit more, I might feel it in my obliques a little bit deeper, but every body's built just so differently. We'll switch sides here shortly. You've got 3. We'll just roll to the other side in 2. And last one, roll over to the opposite side. Last time, best time. Last time, best side. Here we go. Lift it up and down. Lift and lower. So that mind-body connection, right? Our hip flexors tend to compromise for the weakness of our core. So maybe legs are coming up only 45 degrees. If that's where we're at, that's where we're at, right? This is all about building the strength. Showing up for ourselves is the best way that we can show up for our patients, anybody else in your life. Using that exhale to lift.
This one's hard to talk through.
Yeah. All you've got is 3. Finish it out, 2. And last one, rest it down, let it go. I personally, I feel stronger. I feel like I'm like rock solid right here.
Absolutely. Make sure before you head on to your day, well, 1, you join us with a little bit of light stretching. 2, you hit that subscribe button so you can know whenever we post. There's also that fun little bell by the subscribe button so you can even be notified when we do a Fit Friday. And we cannot wait to connect with you, so make sure you drop a comment, drop a like, and let us know what you need.
I feel like a live could be coming soon here, so stay tuned, but only if you press the bell button.
Only if you
press the bell. How would you know?
Notifications on.
How would you know?
Have a great day with your patients or whatever your day may look like, and we will see you next Friday.